Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is our 12th session related to Python and we are going to continue our chapter 4, that is loops for us. So open Python ideally and today we will see one example related to AND operator. Okay, so I am declaring a variable here. Okay, so I have declared a variable here which is C, and now equal to means what? This is the equality operator. So previously also we have discussed, if we want to check whether the value of the two variables are equal or not, we have to use this equality operator in Python. Okay, so here I have mentioned whether 1 is equals to 1. So that is correct, that is true. Okay, in the middle I have used the AND operator, and after that I have mentioned whether 2 is equals to 2. So this is also correct, 2 is equals to 2, and 2 is less than 3. So this condition is also correct. 2 is less than 3. Up to this point, the value of C is true because this condition is also true. This condition is also true. This condition is also true. Now check the condition of the fourth one. Whether 2 is greater than 1, this is also true. So that means up to this point, the value of C is true. Okay. Now see the last variable, last condition. So in the last condition, we have mentioned whether 1 is equals to 2. This is a false statement. Up to this, the conditions are true. And up to this point, C consists the true value. Okay. But when this condition gets executed, it means this condition is a false statement. And after executing the entire statement, the value of C will become false. Okay. So let me execute this and I am printing C now. We should get the output as false. Why this is false? Because this condition is a false condition, and here we have used the AND operator. So whenever you are using the AND operator, that means everything will get executed and you will get the final output. Now see the same example using the OR operator. I am just changing AND to OR operator. When you are using OR operator, that means if any one of the condition gets satisfied, you will get the true output. So here, up to this point, it satisfies the condition, that means C is a true. Okay, so you will get the output as true only. So I am printing the value of C now. Look, see, it is giving the output as a true. Why? Because if any one of this condition is true, for OR operator, you will see the true as an output. But for AND, if only all the conditions are satisfied, you will get the output as a true, otherwise false. Okay, let's now see one example combining AND and OR operator. Okay, so here also I have declared a variable C. Here we have mentioned whether 1 is equals to 1. This is true. And in the middle, I have mentioned the OR operator 273. So up to this point, it is true. Okay. But as we use the AND operator at the last moment, and here we have used a condition whether 3 is equals to 4 or not. So obviously 3 is not equals to 4. So at the last, we will get the output as false. If we print C now, you will get the output as false. Why? Because this condition is not satisfied, and in the middle, we have used the operator as AND. Okay. Now we will see one example of nested ifs. Okay, let me declare a variable now. Okay, so what exactly I have mentioned here? First of all, I have declared a variable as marks, and I have provided the input of that variable as 80. Okay. Now I have mentioned if marks is greater than 90. If marks is greater than 90, then we should get the output as A. Okay. Then I have mentioned else if. So remember one thing in Python, we need to mention else if, which is nothing but else if. Okay. So here I have mentioned if else if the marks is greater than 0 but less than 90, then we should get the print as B. Okay. Else if marks is greater than 70 but less than 80, then we should get the output as a C. If the marks is below 70, then we should get the output as a fail. Okay. So here, as I have mentioned already, the value of marks is 80. That is why the value is coming as C. Why? Because we have mentioned the marks as 80. So this condition did not able to execute because here we have mentioned marks needs to be greater than 80. Okay. So as it is equals to 80, we are getting the output as C. Okay, let's see one another example related to nested ifs. So I am writing the program now. Okay. So first of all, the loop entered here where I have mentioned if is true. So obviously as of now, if is true. Now here I have mentioned a condition if 1 is equals to 1. So obviously this condition is true. So that is why we are getting an output of first inside if. Okay, it did not execute only. Why? Because this condition got satisfied. Okay, now let's do some twist here. If we want to print the second one, then we have to do a small changes. So here we are going to mention if 2 is equals to 1. So if this becomes false, then obviously instead of printing this one, this loop will get executed. Okay, so let's try. Now we are getting the output as this. Okay, let me give you one another example related to nested ifs. So first of all, let me write down the program. Okay, so I have mentioned this entire code. Now, as per this, we should get the output as node 4. Now, how I have mentioned that we should get the output as node 4. So let's understand what I have written here. First of all, I have mentioned if is false. So first of all, I have mentioned whether if is false. If is false, then only it will enter into this block. Okay. So here if is false, then again I have mentioned if is false, then we should get the output as node. Otherwise, we should get the output as false. Now, first of all, the loop will get executed only if it satisfy the first condition where I have mentioned if is false. So if is not false, then it will not enter into this block only. It will straightforward go into this block where I have mentioned that whether if is true or not. So if is true, then this block will get executed. Okay. So when we run this program, first of all, it will see whether if is true or false. If is true, then it will ignore this entire block and it will first of all enter into this block. Okay. Into this block also, first of all, I have mentioned whether if is false, then this will execute or else this will execute. So in our case, as if is true only, it will execute this part of the statement or the coding. Okay. So we should get the output as node 4 only. Okay. So you can see that we have received the output as node 4. So what exactly happened? Again, just let me repeat once again. First of all, it will see whether if it's true and false. If it's true, false, then only it will enter into this block. But in our case, as if is true, it will execute this block. And what is there in this block? In this block also I have mentioned if is false, then this will execute, or if is true, then this will execute. As in our case, if is true, then we should get the output as a node 4. Okay, so that is the end of our today's session. In our next session also, we are going to continue the control loops part 3, where we are going to discuss a lot more about the while loop, for loops, the break, continuous statements, and all those things. So please stay tuned and happy learning. See you in the next session.